Everybody, Emperor Gaming here, and today I'm bringing you another anime you should watch video. Today's anime you should watch is Love Live School Idol Project. Now, before you in the comments or start hating on me for this, what I'm about to explain to you or give to you is something that I've actually enjoyed watching. At first I was reluctant to watch it, but after watching it, it got me right in the feel. Let's begin. First, let's start with the story. The story is basically, this is going to be all spoiler free, it's pretty simple to get through. It's a group of 9 girls, 3 first year high school students, 3 second years, and 3 third years. Their goal in the first season is basically to save their school from closing down because of the lack of enrollment numbers, because they want to have a proper high school life and they want their first years to have underclassmen. Secondly, is they want to continue the traditions of coming to that school, which is one of the main characters' purpose, because they want their sister to come, and their her mother also had history there, that reason. And the second half or second season follows them wanting to win the actual Love Life competition, which I will explain in a tiny bit. And the second season goes for that, and also the struggles of what happens once they're done, what happens once the competition's done, because to be a school idol, firstly you have to be in school, and since there's 3 third year groups and the group's name is Muse needs 9 members and they don't want to get new members in, so you see the struggles of that. Now, what I was going on about is the actual Love Life competition, which they explain in the show, and we see the competition is broken up. In the first season, it's what your rank is. Top 20 go through a competition. It's like an idol competition with all the top idol schools or representatives from schools from the country. Secondly, in the second season, however, it's completely different and is, it's more of, you go through since the competition got really big, right, within a space of a couple months, it's basically all the top, so you go through a qualification kind of round and you get to the finals. Now, the story itself I found very interesting. This isn't a review, that will come later, but what I can say from the story why you should watch is basically they get through so much in a single episode. You feel as if they get through so much in a small amount of time, which makes the pacing really good. And I felt when I was watching through, I was oh, how much time has passed? I click on the thing to see the time code and it's only 10 minutes, but they've gotten through so much. So the story is very filling for the time they have. And there's also the movie that comes after, however there'll be a separate video itself, so watch out for that. But what I can say for the film is that it does justice to the series. Now, next is the characters. Now, if we go through all the characters, you have your entire group. You have the charismatic leader, her best friend. You have the kind of bossy kind of lead, the perfectionist kind of leader, but that also has her own fears. You have the sweet girl, you have the smart girl, you have the spontaneous girl, you have the one with their own kind of personality they like to bring in. You have the one that likes to touch everyone up, and then you have the kind of model kind of girl, however it's not model, more mature looking girl. That's the word. Now, from these characters, I actually enjoyed watching all the different, so they all brought something different into the show. No 2 characters were the same in this main group, which I actually personally enjoyed, because you're getting a feel for each character. Each character is different from one another, which makes it, you can actually pick a favorite properly, and you can also have a unfavorite. My favorite is Honoka, and I would say least favorite would have to be Nozomi. I liked Honoka mainly for the reason that she brought a spontaneous fun to the show, and since it's kind of centered around her episodes that were centered around her, since each character has kind of an episode that's centered around them, her episodes actually show the struggles of what it actually means to be a high school student, but at the same time trying to keep up with your idol training, which I could see from the show, which was actually pretty nice. Now, the characters themselves actually do justice to the show a lot because they help the show grow with their problems that they create. Since they're also different from each other, it made it harder for them to find one unique style, so they came up with the idea of changing out their styles for each individual song, which we see with the different types of songs they make. Now, to getting onto songs, let's talk about the music. The music is actually really well done. Each episode has 1 or 2 songs in it, done performance-wise. Each one, I think, taking about like a minute 30 to about 2 minutes-ish, I would say. And you see like a music kind of video, which is actually pretty nice. And the way the songs are done, they're lyrically, if you don't understand Japanese, you don't get it, but if you have subtitles, the lyrics are pretty nice, they tell a story within themselves. And then you also have, within the story itself, it actually helps the show go on because the song kind of relates to what's going on in some cases, or the surroundings, as shown by one of the songs that come on later, Snow Halation. This isn't much of a spoiler, but snow, you get the idea. The music is probably the biggest thing of the show, since it is about an idol group, which at first, when I was watching, I thought, I'll just skip through the songs. But after listening to a couple of them, I actually got hooked onto their songs because of how melodious they are. They're like really nice to hear. They're not about like ass or fucking anything else like that. They're about like proper story. Like they're actually nice to hear. Last, let's get on to animation. Animation for this was done really well. I'm talking very well. How do you say it? So the coloring was on point, I would have to say. How the songs were done, so when they did the dancing for the songs, it was done with CG, right? Which actually gave it a feel. So, it might have kind of looked a bit weird at first, but once you see what they were able to do with the CG, it actually made sense, which actually made it look really nice with the dancing. Along with the costumes they wore, and the overall tone and atmosphere they created with the lighting, and the animation of the characters and the design, it gave it a whole unique feel. Like, you might see this animation in other places with other shows. However, for this show, this animation does justice. It was beautiful to watch all the way through. So this is my reasons for why you should watch Love Live's School Idol project. And if you guys enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I'll talk to you guys later.